something I notice a lot of people don't do. Especially these days when you take it's these days when what you're taking a picture of is on the screen, people just have to look at like themselves, and it's like, no, you look at the lens, look at the lens.
Yep, it's really easy to forget because you're used to looking at the screen.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, hi, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to Julie Makes the Grade, another episode of me making Gunpla, specifically finishing off our little cricket hooligan, the IO Sheet and Frame High Grade. This little buddy. I have no idea if this is gonna... Yep.
Boy, that's a pretty mouthful of a name.
Yeah, IO Sheet and Frame. Don't get me started on, like, Gundam's specifications of, like, serial numbers and titles, because they all have, like, model numbers, like, actual in-fiction model numbers, because Gundam was basically the biggest excuse for, you know, mechanical nerds and military nerds to make an anime.
It's like Japanese BattleTech, basically, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, Joel, tell me, what do you know about Gunpla? Because you, as my new co-host, since my other co-host flaked on me...
Yeah, what the heck, Zach?
Yeah, I'm gonna call it Zach. Yeah, what happened? So yeah, tell me, what do you know about Gundam?
Basically the things you have told me. That's like my entire exposure to it.
I'm running through my head, what have I told you? It's a lot about crying in space and boys.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's kind of the joke in, like, Gundam of, like, hey, hit a stopwatch, time it until you get someone crying in space in a cockpit. It will surprise you. Like, zero-G tears are kind of the tagline of Gundam. Because, yeah, like, the thing most people were surprised by when I was talking about it the other week was that Gundam's been going on since 79. It's been
a long time.
Yeah, it's a long-ass time. Still not quite beating Doctor Who, I think? Yeah, because...
Well, consecutively or total? Because Doctor Who had that nice long break.
The weird thing is, so did Gundam to some extent. Because... Really? So the way it worked was there was, because actually, boning up on this, so to speak, on Gundam recently, especially the history of the anime, and it started in 79, the creator was Tomino, and that went on for, I want to say, a couple seasons. The show was basically running on a shoestring budget as anything. You go back and try and watch the original, like, 1979 anime, it's rough. There are some rough parts.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, I mean, they originally wanted the original Gundam RX-78 to be gray and, like, white, because it would save them on coloring in.
Yeah. That doesn't really draw the eye.
No, luckily, you know, Tomino was able to fight that and said, no, it has to be fucking red, blue, and yellow, because it has to stand out, because what are you doing?
Exactly.
And then I want to say from that, we got, I think that's right. Then we go to 1980, and we got, War in the Pocket, which was the first, like, original video animation, essentially a, you know, short miniseries, that was happening concurrent to the events of the Gundam and everything, and I was rewatching that recently, and man, it kind of reminded me, I like Gundam for the most part. I like the space opera and all the stuff about, hey, people evolving when living on space colonies and learning about understanding, and maybe there being, like, big political discourse surrounding that. But War in the Pocket was a really good side story about, hey, this kid who's so, even though he's, like, living on a colony that's regularly attacked, is so detached from the war, similar to a lot of kids during World War II, living in Great Britain, who just kind of saw war as still a game, to some extent. And... Well,
I suppose, yeah, if you grow up around that, and that's kind of all you know, you don't really have the right context for it.
Yeah, pretty much, and, like, there's a really good, book I remember, from the 70s, I want to say, as well, called The Machine Gunners, and it's basically about a group of British kids who find a German machine gun during, like, one of the raids, and they then, they play around with it, and they make a fort around this machine gun, and it becomes their big toy, and then when a German pilot actually crash lands nearby, they use the gun to, like, take him hostage, essentially. And...
Oh, God.
Because, like, to them, it's just, like, they don't know any better. That's what war to them is.
Right.
And, like, this kid in War on the Pocket, fucking... So, the forces in Gundam in the original series are Federation and Zeon. Zeon are basically space Nazis, essentially. That's their whole deal.
I've heard that. That is something
I mean, they chant Sig Zeon.
Yeah.
You can't... Yeah. So, he, you know, a Zeon pilot crashes nearby him, and, like... he kind of befriends him, and then he later befriends the Special Forces group from Zeon that this guy's a part of when they're doing, like, a covert operation in his home. And... because he doesn't know any better, because to him, war is just cool and fun, and made me a little uncomfortable because it made me realize that, oh right, I used to be that military fanatic kid.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I used to be one of those. That was a bad time. We don't have to go into that. But yeah, that was War in the Pocket. That was really cool because it showed you don't need to always have Gundam be about big space opera. That's going to be the meat and potatoes of Gundam, but sometimes you can just have really cool side stories that don't normalize the space Nazis, they just kind of humanize individuals involved with it.
Right. That's fine. Like,
Yeah.
understanding that, like, there's nuance to all that, and
Yeah.
like even a demonstrably evil, like, faction doesn't necessarily mean everyone involved with them is pure evil.
Yeah, like, it shows a lot of them were just either, not necessarily conscripts, but they were fooled by propaganda themselves as well. And it shows that the Federation themselves, like, just kind of... It shows the Federation's more as, like, being in the hands of corporations, which was pretty forward-thinking. Like, yeah,
that sounds
Tomino,
very familiar.
Tomino was actually pretty good at, like, getting ahead of the curve of talking about, in anime of all things, like, the war industry, and, like, how companies and manufacturers play a role in that. And then we go to, I believe, was Zeta Gundam, which is also very well known, because that just kind of upped the ante with the, like, death and super serious tone, and that has a lot of cool things in it. It also has some of my favorite designs in it. What else? There ends up being, I'm so bad at, like, remembering the specific timeline of Gundam animation projects, but...
Well, if you don't get this completely right, I'm just done. I'm gone.
Oh no! No, I think my boyfriend might end up...
I demand rigid accuracy.
Well, I do know, the next one after that was Double Zeta, I believe, which I find really funny. That had a slightly more lighthearted tone to all of it. It's kind of a weird one. But then we go into, I believe, I want to say, either F91, which was originally a 13-episode series that they made into a movie. That went as well as you can expect with that sort of production.
Oh yeah, that always goes great.
Yeah, no, they just smushed it all into one movie. Didn't work out so well. Then there was Victory Gundam, and that's when Tomino actually had the entire series taken away from him, because Bandai, the company that actually makes the model kits, bought out the Sunrise, the studio that makes Gundam, which I found really funny.
They just decided to consolidate everything, huh?
Yeah. In my opinion, it was for the better, because basically Tomino was creating everything within this one grand universe that was called the Universal Century, that basically took place in this specific period of time in the distant future. And that's cool, and I like how they've built off of the Universal Century as time has gone on, but once Bandai took over, they were the ones who made it so that every series after that period took place in just a different universe. So, new rules, new Gundams, like, you just detach yourself completely from all of that, which meant you had a lot less baggage to deal with, actually, in my opinion. And it's how we got things like Gundam Wing and G Gundam, the one with the Windmill Gundam. I don't want to live in a world where there's no Windmill Gundam.
So, was there a Don Quixote Gundam to fight the Windmill Gundam?
I wish. The closest we've gotten is there was a wonderful scene in I believe Build Fighters, the Yu-Gi-Oh Gundam, where they're fighting with the actual model kits themselves, and during
Boy,
one of
the Yu-Gi-Oh Gundam sure is a magical thing to say.
Yeah. And during that, in one of the matches, a surprise, like, variations added to the match as a modifier, and it's, like, a mega-sized model kit, as in it's, like, you know, regular model kit's about, like, 5 to 6 inches tall, and this mega-sized kit is, like, 3 feet tall. And it's added to it's added to the map, and then one of them charges it, and, like, a recurring character in the crowd spectating just goes, he's charging it like Don Quixote and you know, charging a dragon, and it shows, like, overlaying that, like, Don Quixote charging the windmill Gundam. I was like, okay, you did good. You made good on that joke.
Yeah,
good. You understood what you had to do. You had to do that. But yeah, during the 90s, there was a period of just, like, after Gundam Wing and G Gundam, there was mostly just, like, movies and stuff. Because that's where we got 08 MS Team in the 90s, which was a great series. If you find Gundam so, like, too hard to get into, because there's a lot. Even if you want to jump into these shows that aren't part of the Universal Century, like, you know, Gundam Wing and such, that's still a lot to consume. I would definitely recommend, though, watching the 08 MS Team, because it's such a good short series about a more human story taking place on, like, in, like, mobile suit mecha ground warfare. And that entire show focuses more on, instead of, like, you know, the space operatic drama and some of the stuff that comes with that, like, because Gundam doesn't start involving later on, like, a bit of bullshit space superpowers, which is kind of ridiculous. 08 MS Team seriously goes into, like, ground tactics and strategy and, like, thinking on the go, and there's some really fantastic, like, mecha fight scenes that feel big and clunky and dirty, and it's a really good series. Definitely check that out. I love it to bits. What else? Yeah, and then I think it took until, God, I want to say soon. Only took until after the 2000s for them to get back into TV seasons again, because there was a long period of, like, oh. There was the period where Level 3, the designers of Professor Layton, made a Gundam show. That wasn't good. Because Bandai went, hey, make us a Gundam game. They went, okay, cool. They made up all the character designs and Gundam designs, and Bandai went, these are pretty cool. Make a TV show. Okay.
Has that studio made other TV shows before?
No, they kind of... This was their big shot. This was their big shot.
That was maybe a bad decision from Bandai.
I'll say this. The Professor Layton movie, surprisingly okay. I like the Professor Layton movie. If... I might need to... Hey, Molly, add Professor Layton movie to the movie watch list. I'm making you watch that. It's actually a fun caper movie. But yeah, the whole problem with that, which was Gundam Age, great designs and some really cool aesthetics, and the plotline of it is, hey, we're not going to be telling the story of one Gundam pilot, but we're going to tell the story of, like, 3 generations of Gundam pilots, and how, like, this conflict takes place over that long period of time. But then, hey, let's talk about 3 generations of characters in one single season. Kind of a cramped space.
Seems a little packed.
Little bit. Also, in 3 generations, no female Gundam pilot. Yeah, they kind of fucked up on that.
How does that happen?
Yeah, how does that happen? I mean, Level 3 and the Professor Layton games aren't really known for their staunch, like, how to put it, overt feminist tones, let's put it that way. I like them, but they got issues. We then get to, I believe so, Tomino, the original creator, came back for 2 seasons. He came back for Turn A, which was a super interesting show because it was very much, it hinted at taking place, like, in an almost so far distant future beyond the Universal Century that it takes place in a post-apocalyptic universal century or post apocalyptic, because it's basically like, hey, there was this great age of like technology and this golden period, and then there was a great calamity, and now we're all back to like a 16th century level of European farming and monarchy systems. Like that's how bad it went.
Okay, I actually kind of like those settings.
Yeah, and then you would put mechs into that setting. Like that's actually pretty interesting. It's also the fact that Sid Mead actually designed the Gundam for that show.
I don't know who that is.
Sid Mead is one of the most famous like sci-fi designers. Just Google Sid Mead, SYDMEAD. You'll see a lot of like really notable designs by him. He's also a fantastic concept artist. I love his work, but his design was a little weird because everyone knows the Gundam like V-fin, those big yellow antennas. Sometimes they're white. Sid Mead put that under where like the nose would be in a face, so basically made look up Turn A Gundam, and you'll just see it's just a giant mustache, which is amazing. But I know some people don't really care for that. Those people are wrong.
It's amazing in a very goofy way that I could see maybe not appealing to some people.
Oh no, especially the people who take Gundam way too seriously.
Yeah, I agree. Those people are incredibly wrong. That sounds amazing.
It's a mustache Gundam. What's not to love? But then Tomino came back later for, oh god, this fucking title, Reconquista in G. Think about that. Think about that title. Mobile Suit Gundam Reconquista in G. You thought Io Shiden Frame was a mouthful.
I am attempting to think about that title, and my mind seems to like be slipping off it.
Yeah. People call it just G Reco because people made the right decision of that's a bullshit title. There's a baseline level of bullshit in anime you can accept. That's a bullshit title. that exceeds the baseline. That show is so incomprehensible and so hard to follow and so bizarre that Tomino issued an apology afterwards.
Oh boy.
But again, some really good designs in G-Reco, which is a shame. Because basically, if a show's not good, it doesn't get many kits. That is kind of the whole deal.
Right.
And then, after that we get into the HD era of Gundam, which is Gundam 00, which is one of my favorites, because it's got some really awesome designs. And it's basically a reboot of Gundam Wing, which I kind of loved. They just kind of looked at Gundam Wing and went, what if we just did that better? What if we just had a do-over? 13 years later, what if we just fucking actually made it good? I like Gundam Wing a lot, but it does not hold up. I like it for very deep-rooted nostalgia reasons because it played on Toonami in Australia with Linkin Park ads. It's kind of an encapsulation of my childhood.
Yeah, that paints a very specific picture.
Yeah. But anyway, then we move on from there on to, like, God. I don't know, I just know, we've gotten things like, they've done the Gundam Origin series, which is basically retelling the events that led up to the very first Gundam series, which is actually pretty cool, because you actually get more of the political backstory of how did space Nazis happen? What happened there? Also, they've done...
I mean, I could probably guess.
It's all to do with land. It actually is to do with land and rights. Like any other political movement, it started with that. There's also Gundam Thunderbolt, an amazing OVA season. That show is really not rough in like a bad way. It's rough in a psychological way. Because that show is all about the Federation and Zeon forces during that warring period in the original Gundam season, taking place in this system called the Thunderbolt system, because it's just taking place where a whole colony was obliterated and now there's just constant thunderstorms and debris everywhere. And that is about basically a duel between one Federation pilot who's a cocky asshole who I hate, but he's got a cool-ass Gundam called the Full Armor Gundam, and it's just full of rockets and shields. And the Zeon forces in that entire show are called the Living Dead Battalion because they're actually all of the wounded Zeon troops who now have prosthetics, like prosthetic limbs, and they're basically like the guinea
Listening.
pigs for the Xeon troops, for the Xeon like science corps, and like they're all, you know, hardwired and like bolted into their mobile suits and stuff. There's a really fucked up part in that show where it's because the Xeon troops are mostly immobile because they're all like unfortunately disabled and amputees, and so their tactic is to take up sniping defensive positions and their crack shots. However, the main protagonist, the Gundam pilot Eo Fleming, he kind of corners one up close, and the Xeon pilot he's cornered can't actually reach the pedals to move his mobile suit because he has peg legs.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it's just him screaming as he's desperately trying to reach the pedals.
Yeah,
that
would leave an impression on you, I would say.
That's a hard show to watch. But the thing I kind of love though is that the way the two main characters are presented. I am really bad at remembering the Xeon character in that because he's actually really cool. He's basically like one of the least amputated members of the group, no.
Least amputated. There's a.
He only has one. He's only missing one hand. Like that's kind of the deal in this show. The best thing is that Eo Fleming, the Gundam pilot, listens to just jazz all the time when he's piloting. The other guy, the Xeon pilot, listens to like country and disco, which I really enjoy because it's just
that's an interesting mix.
It's really good. There's some great they just call each other's music taste shit because I don't know if they ever really talk about much, but Gundam is kind of, you have to inherently believe that everyone just has an open radio frequency, or else they can't actually hear each other. Sometimes they'll actually go, oh, they're hailing us, or sometimes they'll go like, oh, he's part of our channel now. But a lot of the time they just go, no, they're just kind of talking to each other, even though they're in giant robots 50 feet across from each other. You just have
I assume they're fitted with whatever the equivalent of CB radios are.
Pretty much, especially for Gundam Thunderbolt. But yeah, and then that's when we get to Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans, the most recent couple of seasons. I have mixed feelings on that show. I like it, but also I love the first season. The second season that's running currently has proven to be a bit jumbled. It feels like they've got 5 seasons worth of plot, and they had to cram the last 3 seasons into the second season, which is the only one they're getting.
Oh, that's always a problem.
Yeah, because there's a lot of characters who I have no clue what's happened to them. And like a lot of mobile suits that have really cool designs, but they're not really showcasing them as much. But yeah, so I mostly also wanted to talk to inform you about the Gundam series because I only went into it a brief amount of time last time because I mostly just gave the overall thing. I want to go into specific shows this time around, especially ones that I've been rewatching. But also, I want to show off some of my favorite kits that I actually own because I have a lot. I kind of have a lot.
Let's take a look.
First off is the HG Revive Gyan. This is from the first season of Gundam. I like this suit a lot because he's basically a knight. He's a silly-looking knight robot. He's got a mono eye.
So is this like a reprint or is it a kit from?
So that's the thing they've been doing. The Revive series of model kits is basically them taking the most notable designs from the original season and actually giving them the new like high-grade kit tech treatment. So this thing,
that is definitely a Night Boy.
Yep. So this thing actually has like a lot of posability. And it can, like, one of the previous problems was that there wasn't enough wrist movement for it to actually hold the sword well, but this one can actually, like, angle it in a really cool way and stuff. So you can actually, like, lunge at people, and his shield has a much better design to it now, and has a lot more articulation to it as well. And
yeah, to me that would be really important, is all that articulation, being able to do good posing.
Yeah, so, like, he can actually look really cool. Hold on, let me just... I can show... You could just have him be straight up a knight lunging with his sword. Whoop. I love this model kit. It's also a really cool design. So Next up, we also have from G-Reco. This design is, like, this one kit is such an underdog. Everyone loves this kit, and I'm one of those people, because it is one of the grunt suits, and I talked about it last week, but grunt suits are very important to your mech show, because if your grunts don't look good, then what's the point? Similar to if your mooks don't look good in a Power Ranger show, then you kinda...
Right.
You kinda don't care as much. The mooks have to have
You're gonna be
personality.
seeing that model a lot. It should be something that is fun to watch.
Yes, and so we've got the Grimoire. Little tubby boy with a UFO head. I love him. You'll see him soon enough. And it's a ridiculous design. But it's so cool and well built, and it looks so interesting.
Oh, there he is.
It's so not a Gundam. Like, it's the farthest thing from a Gundam.
I don't know what that looks like, but yeah, it's not what I would picture if I pictured Gundam.
Yeah, because, like, it's even got a little... It's a bit of a Triclops as well, with the whole, like, head design, and it's got a lot of range of movement thanks to that big little belly of his. And he's got a cool shield. Look, he's even got a freaking combat knife. Mechs that have combat knives are some of my favorite mechs. Because it just has a combat knife.
That's really good.
Yeah,
I think that's the entire reason why Zach likes Avatars.
I was gonna say
the combat suit has a knife.
Not enough to make me like Avatar, but I appreciate that. And then we go to one of the best designs, I think ever, and it's from Zeta Gundam, the Hayakushiki. This is the gold Gundam. This is the gold one that I bought. Because it's ridiculous, and I love it, and it cost me way too much money, but I still bought it. Because it's gold.
Gold tends to cost you more money.
This thing is so shiny.
Even if it's not actually gold.
Yeah. And I love it, but it's so cool. And also, this is a Master Grade. It's also an updated Master Grade, because the Zeta series was during the 80s. Like, that was a long time ago, and the kits have been around since, for as long as the show was around, essentially, because that's partly what kept the thing alive. So it's cool to actually get a more modern...
good-looking robot.
It's cool to actually get, like, a updated version of this, because... Man, the Hayakushi is really fucking cool. It's got a cool head. I'm gonna get that out of the shadow. It's got freaking wings. It's got a yellow beam saber. And fuck, this thing is so angular and awesome, and... God, hold on. Like, just posing it is so much fun, and it's the type of gold material where you don't get fingerprints on it. Which is so important.
That is a plus.
Yeah. Because, like, just posing this thing is a dream. It just looks like this angular, fierce, mobile suit, and I love this kit to death. It's probably... definitely my top 5 of favorite kits that I own. But yeah, it's... bless you, Hayakushiki. You are a beautiful, beautiful golden child. And then, there's a kit I recently finished, just the other night, which was... so this is Master Grade scale in terms of size. So what I've shown you are 2 high grades and a Master Grade. What I'm about to show you is a no grade. Basically, it's a 1 to 100 scale sized, high grade. From the Iron Blood Orphan series.
That went to one of those really liberal schools that doesn't, like, do... grades and stuff.
Yeah,
and
no,
alternative
exactly.
processes.
Yeah, like they grade with like this is a flower grade Gundam. This is a star grade Gundam. But yeah, this is the 1 to 100 no grade Vidar, and I like this guy a lot.
What's up with his knees?
He's got boosters on his knees. I know it looks like he's got suction cups, but they're boosters. For high mobility.
That's disappointing. Suction cups would have been way funnier.
Well, I do also like, shoved down his waistskirts are just straight up handguns.
I mean, same.
Like, one Teenage with Attitude Matt would like Gundam a lot because they sort out a lot of problems just by shooting their gun.
I mean, that's a good way to sort your problems if you happen to have guns.
Especially in wartime. I also like him because he's got these cool rapiers. Hold on. There we go. You can see that better. And the best thing is these side skirts. So the whole deal with the rapiers, I'm just going to pop up his hand for a second, is in the show, he straight up breaks off these blades inside of other suits to pin them. So just you can pull this blade. You've got the handle now, and what he does then, he plugs it into the side skirt, and he just reloads a blade and pulls it out.
Oh, that is so good.
He just reloads his sword. These are sword ammunition.
Oh, that
holsters.
is fantastic. I love that.
It's such a cool idea and design. It's a bit clunky in practice.
I'm opening up my D&D character ideas document here. I'm going to type in a few things.
And just imagine applying that to other weapons, like hammers or axes and stuff. Just reloading a hammerhead.
Oh, God.
And then,
man, instead of having like a throwing hammer, you can just chuck the heads.
Yeah. And he's also got, most importantly, knife boots. Like, these are just blades that slide out of his feet, and he's got knife ice skates. Because why not?
So this is the rogue of the party, apparently.
Pretty much. Nah, he's really cool.
Weapon blades everywhere.
Yep. Just, he's made of blades. Look how sharp and pointy this boy is. This is a pointy boy. But yeah, I especially like Iron Blooded Orphans, their whole aesthetic they're going for, especially with the Gundams, because he's technically a Gundam. Because their whole deal is that anything that uses a Gundam frame, essentially a really tough, sturdy, and highly mobile skeleton, is essentially a Gundam. And all of the Gundams are named after, someone will know. Maybe not in the chat, but someone, my friends will know what the name is. There's a book that basically lists all, like, the demons and barons and dukes of hell. And all the Gundams are named after them. So you've got the main Gundam, which is Barbatos, you've got Vidar, you've got Chimaris, you've got Grimgurd, you've got Helmwig, you've got Astaroth, so really cool naming scheme, and just the fact that they all make these Gundams, these supposedly heroic mobile suits, look kind of like evil shitheads, which is really cool. I'll actually quickly pull out the Astaroth Gundam, because I have him as well, as a kit. He only comes on high grade, sadly. I want there to be a big version of him, but yeah, this is actually a similar conceit to the Vidar. I want to imagine they actually got some ideas of the Vidar from making the Astaroth as a kit. Let me just fix up this one piece because it fell off. Because the Astaroth has a couple weapons. First of all, let me want it. Oh man, things are just falling off. That's the problem sometimes when you're playing with Gundam kits. They're still model kits. Stuff will fall off. You've got to be aware of parts collision and such. But I'll just show him off first. Here's the Astaroth. He is a very cool red boy. I like him a lot. One of the best head sculpts, in my opinion, if the camera will try and refocus on that. We'll get it there. But yeah, you can see it clearly enough. And he's cool because A, he has wing shoulders, which slide out like that. Because why not? And you can just fly.
So, I don't think that's how wings really work.
Shh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. He's got essentially just a blunderbuss rifle. Because it's just a pirate gun, if nothing else. And then, because it's anime, he has a katana. But the best thing is, so there's a sheath for the katana, which looks very big and clunky. If you actually take off the sheath... So I call this the Bloodborne Gundam, because it's got a weapon.
Trick weapons.
It's not just got trick weapons, but it's got, range weapon to stun in one hand, light melee weapon in the other, and then the sheath just slides onto the light weapon and becomes a giant wrecking club.
Nice.
It's even got a second handle for him to dual wield it as well. And even the kit itself has an attachment on the arm to keep it steady. Because it's just so fucking big.
Yeah, I'm a big sucker for stuff like that, where you can reconfigure accessories.
Gundam is really good for that in a lot of ways, especially with the Iron Blooded Orphans kits. But yeah, that is basically a rundown of specific shows I want to recommend to people, and also some of my favorite kits. So I think it's time to get to building, actually. So let's just switch scenes here. Oh, actually, we'll switch to a different scene I've gone. Yeah. Let's go with Iron-Blooded Orphans. So that's basically a lot of the principal cast of the show. Gundam has...
The titular iron-blooded orphans, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. That show is very Metal Gear in a lot of ways. Because it's very much about child soldiers and the military-industrial, problem, I guess.
Complex.
Like, not even a complex, like, it's shown to just be, like, a problem over the course of 300 years or so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you get into the idea of, advanced illegal surgery on such child soldiers to make them better at being able to pilot mobile suits and such.
Makes sense, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem? I don't see it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Also, yes, in the chat, Master of Metroid mentions a character who is one of the most famous characters in all of Gundam, Char. He's basically, in the first season of Gundam, he's a masked figure who is one of the best pilots, to the point where his mobile suit is like 3 times faster than anything else, which is a joke. If ever they mention something 3 times faster, you know they're referencing Char. And his whole deal is that he's basically, a deposed prince at one point who went into exile and took on a new name and whole identity and became an ace mobile suit pilot, and he...
That sounds very anime.
Very anime. And, he wears the mask the entire time to conceal his identity, and then in Zeta Gundam, which is essentially a sequel to the original Gundam season, he's laying low and he takes on a new name. This name, his name is Quattro Bagina.
I don't think that's a name.
Tell that to Char! But yeah, Char takes on that name, and his way of disguising himself is he just switches to sunglasses.
Yes, the Superman method of disguise.
Yeah, exactly. The best thing about Char is also that all of his mobile suits are red, but then when he's trying to lay low, he can't obviously have that. So, him laying low is him piloting the Hayakushiki, the gold Gundam I just showed you.
Hey, it's not red. Can't be the same guy.
Yeah, I'm not standing out, guys. I'm totally not Char. Char doesn't use gold. He uses red. I use gold. I will briefly just say that I love the Gundam names like Char Aznable, Quattro Bagina, Amuro Ray. Like, they're so good 80s sci-fi anime names.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, that's the kind of name you come up with when you want to sound futuristic. It's just complicated and, like, doesn't seem to mean anything.
Especially when you have, like, just Japanese voice actors try and actually wrap their lips around those names.
Okay, these names were not designed for our language.
Yeah, no. These names involve none of our, like, usual characteristics or phonemes or syllables or, like, structure. What the hell are you doing? God, just fucking look up Char Zeta and you'll see what he looks like, and it's just that man is so 80s. He's wearing he's just wearing a red vest and sunglasses, and he has like essentially a blonde mullet, and it's amazing.
Yeah, oh boy, I think I've seen this guy in like a dozen fighting games.
Yep. He's basically Cool Ken.
If such a thing can exist, yes.
God, I do love that though, because he's so ridiculously dashing and handsome and cool, that he's one of the reasons Gundam has such a huge female fan base, and has always had a huge female fan base since the very start.
I mean, yeah, whatever works.
Yeah. I'm just setting up at the moment because I've got to get all my runners out, because we're going to see... Man.
Okay, one of the top images that came up, he seems to have cat eyes and cat ears.
Oh, that can happen. He doesn't actually in the show, but, you know, why not?
Yeah, I guess.
If you see something without cat ears, you must make something with cat ears. Like, you see a hole, you must fill it. We know how anime goes. Or at least I know how anime goes. Alright, I've got most of my runners set up. And we should be in business soon. I was gonna tie my hair back because as this is serious work, I need to put on my serious hairstyle.
So what sort of safety regulations are around Gunpla construction? Like, are there OSHA standards for this?
With
or I
the
guess
way
whatever Australia's equivalent of OSHA is.
with the way I make Gunpla, no, because I've injured myself several times. Because I have stabbed myself and cut myself way too much. And I've just like covered my hands in super glue before. Even though these kits don't require super glue, I just keep it on hand just in case. And every now and then, a part may break, or I need to toughen up a joint, so I just cover it in a thin layer of super glue, and then whoops, squeeze the bottle too hard. I need to go to the washroom.
See, at least you wash it off and you don't like stick your hands to the desk.
No, I don't make a Zack move. No, that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know how anyone would do something like that.
God, I interrogated him about that before.
Yeah, I think it was the last stream.
Yeah, just because I needed to know what the fuck he was doing.
Sometimes I'd rather not know what the fuck he was doing. I'm not sure the answers would put me at ease at all.
Alright, I think I have just about everything set up, so I'm going to switch to the Gunpla feed, essentially. Alright, there we go. I'm also going to draw the blinds. Give me 1 second.
Well, that worked very good for audio.
Oh, well, no, I turned off the audio because drawing the blinds just... It's an unholy sound it makes. It's quite screeching. Also, yeah, again, for new viewers, don't mind this. This is due to renovations, this wall. It happens. It's fine. Everything's fine.
That's her story, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to also turn on the lamp as well. 1 second.
Alright, Master of Metroid likes your mug.
Yeah, it's a good mug. My mum got me that when she was in Japan. Because my mum, I bought my mum an Astro Boy plate. She bought me a Gundam mug. It kind of works out.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys have your relationship all figured out.
Pretty much. So, once again, we've got our tools. We've got the nippers. We've got file for smoothing out parts. Just in case, we've got an X-Acto blade in case there needs to be any little bits cut off. I'm just going to angle the camera up a little bit more. There we go. What else do we need? Yeah, if ever I want to, say, strengthen a joint, a lot of the time I put a thin layer of either nail polish base coat or super glue on it and just let it dry, and then that makes the part a lot sturdier. But that's pretty much what we need at the moment. We've got my fancy runner stand, which I like a bunch. We've got our cricket hooligan right here, because, again, I always call this model kit a cricket hooligan because he wields a cricket bat as a mech. Which
yeah, I mean,
love.
As noted documentary Shaun of the Dead showed, cricket bats can be very potent weapons.
They're very potent. Where did I actually put... Now, here's an issue. Where did I put the instruction manual? That's kind of needed.
You know, need that. It'll be a more experimental stream this time.
Yeah, we'll see. This is real freeform, you know. It's fine. Who needs an instruction manual? I do.
I think honestly, I think these designs have been way too humocentric for way too long. Like, let's experiment a little bit. Who says the torso has to be in the middle?
Oh, you should see sometimes they get a bit wild with those designs, because look up for you and the audience, look up the Turn X Gundam. That's a hell of a design. Where the heck did I put the instruction manual? Well, worst case scenario, I can always look up the instruction manual online because, of course, they have it online. Everything's online.
Yeah, the internet's great for that. I had a bunch of Lego sets growing up that I lost the instructions to, and I tried to rebuild them from pictures once, and that didn't work so well.
I mean,
shortly after we got the internet, I realized, wait, I wonder if I could find them online. And sure enough, there's a website that just has like every single
of course,
Lego instruction set ever.
Yeah, of course, there has to be. Alright, well, I will probably have to go online. That's weird. I didn't move anything from my desk. Because I'm a stagnant homebody. And I need everything within eyesight and, reach.
Right, yeah. Minimize the number of times you have to leave the chair. I understand completely.
Yeah, of course. Why would I ever want to leave this chair? This is safe. This is home. Alright, yeah, I'll look up online. This is mostly more befuddling than annoying to me than anything else. Just like, okay. That's a weird thing to go
Mystery.
missing.
Viewers at home, can you figure out where the manual went?
Yeah, this is now Blue's Clues. Hey, what's up? Can you spot it? Just call out to the TV. I'll respond. It's okay. I can just bring Monty up, which is Monty's Clues.
Yeah, there we go. Monty's Clues.
Yeah, there we go. He will not like that. He will not like that one.
No, that...
Part of me is tempted to challenge myself to just build the arms and stuff based on my, years of Gunpla building experience and just see if I can wing
see
it.
If your muscle memory will take over.
Yeah, because, I honestly know a lot of these parts just from, building so many of these fucking things.
I have to imagine there's got to be some, pretty standard, ways things slot together and...
Oh, yeah,
things are...
It's fairly uniform in a lot of ways, especially when you go, just even within a season of kits, because they have to be.
Okay, Master of Metroid suggests checking the wall hole. See if it got sucked in there.
Well, if I disappear into another portal, or I just disappear from history, it won't matter, because I'll just disappear from history, and you won't even realize why you're on the stream whatsoever.
Wait, what am I doing? There's nothing here.
Why am I crying? Oh, it's like the cracking Doctor Who. God damn it. Alright. Online it is. That's just weird. That's just really weird. Huh. I'm actually a little bummed out, mostly because I like keeping
making a note
manuals.
myself when I edit this for YouTube to insert the X-Files theme here.
Oh, wait, no. Haha. It was underneath my keyboard.
You didn't check there? That's where I lose most of my stuff.
I mean, it's an instruction manual.
Oh, hey, look, it's 3DS stylus.
It's an instruction manual. This fit underneath the keyboard. Come on. I didn't expect to find this here. Anyway, let's build the arms. Let's get to that. So, let's...
And the stream is safe from attempting to access more internet resources.
Yep. Because I'd rather not do that. I would just use my phone in that case. Which one am I going for? B. So how was that Gunpla history talk?
I'm hoping there's not going to be a quiz at the end of the stream. I don't know that I'll do that well.
Well, Joel, you might want to hope a bit harder then.
I hope you're at least using the flower smiley face butterfly scale.
Yes, totally.
I'll settle for a gloomy looking rain cloud if that's what I end up getting.
Aww. Well, now I'm a little sad thinking about that. I have an idea at one point, just because I rant and rave about so much bullshit. I would love one day to just grab all of you in essentially a podcast room and just talk about one specific topic, and at the end I will quiz you and see who actually, absorbs knowledge the best. Because I don't expect anyone to listen.
I mean, that actually might not be a bad idea. People like quiz shows.
Mike would definitely be down for it. Just like the idea of, hey, I'm going to tell you about one of my favorite boy love ships. Now you have to remember every single detail I talk about it, and I'm going to quiz you about it.
Oh no, I'm terrible at names. I would fail this no matter what.
So Asian Ankh are on Kamen Rider O's, and no, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm not going to subject one person to this.
Yeah, that's not a game. That's torture.
Yeah, I was going to say that crosses a line at some point. Alright. I'm still getting used to the idea of just building in front of people. That's so weird to me.
Yeah, there's something surreal about doing something you've done a million times before, but with an audience.
Yeah, imagine building Lego in front of an audience.
Yeah, exactly. Or the more like professional setting version of that is at work if I have to like remote into a system that doesn't have like a remote access set up.
Right.
So then like, the customer has to do a screen share. So the entire time I'm working, like there's somebody on the other end watching everything I do. And like it's usually I know what I'm doing. Like I'm going through the same processes I'll go through a million times on my own. But
what if?
Yeah, well, yeah, just that added pressure. Suddenly I'm second guessing everything I'm doing. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna screw this up, and they're gonna like see that, and then they're gonna know I'm a hack, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Or just
even
like, hey, why do you have a tab to CISO open right now? What's up with that?
Okay, what's that Slack? Oh no, God, don't read
that. No. Hey, who's this Matt guy messaging you? Like.
Okay, closing that, blocking, yeah, we're done with this now.
Hey, what's a Tumblr link he sent you? What's up with that? What's going on there?
Yeah, okay, hold on, I need to call my supervisor. Yeah, we gotta drop this customer. We can't ever work with him.
God. Man, yeah, I would not be able to screen share with anyone I mean, like, I interact with in a personal, in, like, professional sense whatsoever. That's a terrifying idea to me.
Yeah, we're rolling out a bunch of new security policies at work.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're enforcing an automatic lockout, so if your like computer's idle for like 5 minutes, it'll automatically lock it.
Okay.
And like they're trying to train people to like lock their screen whenever they leave their desk, and
right.
I'm already on board with that because I usually do have our team Slack open at work, and I can't risk somebody reading that because you never know what's going to be up.
You never know. That's just going to be terrible, terrible, terrible art that I've linked.
I mean, it's not bad art.
It's not bad art. It's just terrible in a moral sense.
Not suitable for work.
Yeah, exactly. God, just trying to think. Man, I really hope whenever I eventually become a teacher, that won't happen to me, because I get in some serious trouble that way.
I would recommend maybe just avoiding a whole bunch of stuff from a school network.
just turn off Wi-Fi on my phone and only use mobile data. Yeah.
Yes.
Just go off the grid. Just like, and here's your Wi-Fi password. Oh, I won't be needing that. I can't risk it. I like this job. I don't want to lose it.
I wonder if you could set up like a dead man switch on your phone, so as soon as it leaves your hands, it automatically locks. That way, if you set it down and any kids happen to be around, there's no chance of them getting something.
I mean, I could just turn off so that you can't see notifications get on the lock screen, because, man, there'd be some things, like even Molly and I telling each other, that would just not be safe for work. No, I'm not going to get into those things right now. I'm not trapping myself like that. She will also murder me as my sister.
Yeah, she'd probably be justified.
Her and I have talked about, we could just completely destroy each other's lives if we wanted to. We have the ability to.
I mean, yeah, that's what being a family is.
Yeah. You keep these horrible dark secrets to yourself about other people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just mutually assured destruction, really.
Exactly. We hold each other's self-destruct switches. Right, how's chat going?
Pretty quiet.
That's fair enough. If anybody has questions, feel free to ask.
People are engrossed. Yeah, people are engrossed with your work.
Oh god, no. Gee, I am an amateur builder at best. I talk a big game a lot about like how much I love this hobby and stuff, but I also know I am not like the one you should be going to for how do I put it? If you want to like build something that's of amazing quality, don't go to me.
How many man hours would you estimate you've logged building Gunpla?
Okay, let's say on average, takes me, if I build just continuously, like, maybe 2 to 3 hours per high grade, and I own about 30 of those.
Okay, so
then also
70 to 90 hours there.
Then also, I guess, The master grades take me about, I want to say, altogether, I don't know, 8, 9 hours? If I pace out the build. And I own about 2, 3, 10 of those?
So well over 100.
And then there's the real grades, which take me about 6 hours. And then there's the no grades, which take me about 7 hours.
So yeah, you've probably logged enough hours to be able to get your like Gunpla builder's license.
Yeah, to get my certification.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, at one point, I would love to either this year or next enter a one of the building World Cups, just because that'd be cool. Because that's basically
that would be neat.
Yeah, just enter the Australian heat essentially, and like not do anything fancy, just mostly do a recoloring and slight retooling of a kit and enter that as my entry.
Okay, so it's like you do. So is it something you assemble ahead of time and bring to the event, or do you assemble it there?
You assemble it ahead of time. Also, Blue Dude in the chat, I do not own a Gusion Rebake, which is again a hell of a name. What question do you have about the Gusion Rebake? Because now I'm curious. Because the Gusion Rebake is a weird kit. It's got 2 faces and 4 arms. It's a weird Gundam.
So, yeah, no, that sounds like the right number of arms.
Yeah, no, 4 arms, totally. It's great. Alright, let's see. Is the question about the amount of stickers that thing uses? Because, man, the Gusion Rebake is rotten with stickers, because a lot of kits in the IBO series, they are relatively cheaper compared to other high grades, but the reason for that is, instead of using parts to separate colors, they just put foil stickers over everything.
Ugh, stickers are the bane of, like, models for me.
Yeah.
I'm just awful at them.
It just sucks. And, like, even if you're good at them, like, I'll admit, I am fairly decent with stickers, and application of thereof, but, man, they just don't look good a lot of the time. Like, the material, color doesn't match, like, the fact that they peel off even when you don't touch them, it's just, ugh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the problem, is either the glue is too strong and, like, before you even, like, try to lay it down, it gets stuck to something.
Yep.
Or it just doesn't stay stuck at all.
I did have the issue one time when I, had a sticker that was, I want to say, the size of an actual pinhead, and I was trying to put that on something, on a kit, and then I coughed a little, it was gone from my fingertip, I looked all over, and it ended up actually being on my cheek that entire time. So I just had a sticker on my cheek.
This is mine now.
Yeah, just like, I guess I'm the Gundam now. I am Gundam. This is me.
God, if only.
Well, Blue Dude,
yeah, now granted, this is when I was a...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask Blue Dude, like, what... he had a question about the multi-arm mechanic of the, Gusion Rebake, because it basically has 2 regular arms where they would normally be, and then a backpack that unfolds 2 other arms. But...
Are these other arms, are they normal sized, or are they tiny little, like...
They're normal size.
Okay.
They even, like, hold other guns and axes and stuff. It's kind of ridiculous. But I like that about the Gusion Rebake. I like that kit a lot. I just wish it didn't use so many stickers, because I don't want to paint, because I'm lazy a lot of the time. I'm just going to cut out the rest of these parts, because this will save us some time in the future. Because I tend to, if I see, like, oh, I'm, got to cut something from the B runner, and I see 2 steps ahead, there's still more stuff than B runner, I'm just going to stick to the B runner and just cut out all the parts that I can. Just saves me time applying them. What? Yep, okay, those match up. Great. Cool. We'll pop this away for the time being, and move back
Oh dear, it sounds like GameStop has started carrying Gunpla.
Oh, are you kidding me?
In a desperate bid to remain a store people, like, actually go to and buy things from.
I mean, I was weirded out when you guys have Gunpla on your fucking Barnes & Noble. That makes no fucking sense.
It's not a huge collection, but yeah, it's there.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's where my boyfriend bought me one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it, but I'm also not complaining because, like, I've picked up some of the Power Rangers Legacy stuff there that they didn't have at Toys R Us.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you know, more variety.
Yeah, they've got a ton of, like, Marvel and DC, like, high-quality figures, and...
Oh, I'm not surprised by that. Yeah, that adds up.
All sorts of just random Japanese stuff that, I mean...
Japanese stuff,
probably stuff people it's probably stuff people recognize, but it's not stuff I recognize.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Joel, one of these days I'm going to get you into an anime. One of these days.
You can try.
No, that's fair enough. I completely understand why a lot of people don't like anime. There's a lot of, like, how do I put it? Valid reasons for that. I am a weeb, but man, sometimes I'm just like, come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, like, if I'd known the right people, like, 10 years ago, I probably would have really gotten into some shows, but the problem is I knew the wrong people back then.
How do you mean?
Like, the type of person that puts you off a TV show forever.
Oh god, no. Well, it's weird because I'm still blown away that a lot of people think anime is, like, only one specific thing.
I mean, yeah, it's like saying I hate American cartoons, really.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I realize that. I recognize that. I can admit that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not to say, like, if someone says, oh, I hate Western superhero comics, that's fair enough because that is a valid category. That's a...
Well, yeah, right. And I can understand what they mean by that because there are a lot of tropes that are kind of shared among, like, regardless of what you're reading, who's making the comic. There's certain, like, shared language, common, like, stylistic choices and stuff kind of throughout that entire genre.
Exactly, yeah. And, like, even when people say they don't like tokusatsu, I get it, because for the most part, tokusatsu is one thing. Like... But, I always just find it funny when I see those videos like, hey, what happens when we show people anime for, like, the first time, and, like, it just... Because they think, oh, anime is either sex cartoons or super cute and girly. It's like, actually, man, there's a surprising variety in it.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah. But also, I completely understand if people see that variety and still don't like it, because I'm like, yeah, that's fair enough. That's more than fair enough.
Okay, thank you, Victor Perfecto, for completely understanding what I mean by that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know how to classify myself as an anime fan, because the anime I used to be into was Gundam Wing, Hellsing, Trigun, Yu-Gi-Oh! What else was I into as a kid? At least a teen. I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, those are some of the big ones.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though. I've strayed away from most big blockbuster anime shows. I'm more into the slice of life stuff.
I can see that, yeah.
I don't know, like, it's why I like sports anime. It's so different than all the other anime I've seen. Also, man, sports anime is real good because it's like the one kind of sport thing that I'll actually cheer for. Like, if I could, I'd be waving a tiny flag and wearing a team jersey at my computer.
They've got to make those, right? Like,
they do make some of them. I'm ordering one at some point.
I knew it. That makes sense.
Because I have to. I've got to support my team. Damn it.
Right,
Karasuno High, fly. Fuck you, Shiro Torizawa. You ain't shit. I'm just speaking gibberish at this point. That's my favorite thing whenever
I'm assuming everything you're saying means something.
That's my favorite thing when I start talking about sports anime to people who've either never seen any of it or have the faintest idea about it, because then I just start talking about the teams like they're actually real people. Because they are.
I mean, as much as anyone's real, I guess.
Is this tying into your whole deal of whenever you introduce yourself in a podcast, you just say, I guess I'm Joel?
I mean, you know, there's still a lot of data to process on that one, you know?
I completely understand. Master Metroid, go watch Haikyuu. I don't care if you're not into volleyball. I wasn't into volleyball before Haikyuu, and now I'm watching live action volleyball matches on YouTube.
Hey, volleyball's cool.
Volleyball's really cool, actually. Indoor volleyball is super cool. Like, I never wrote it off as a dumb sport. It was just a sport I didn't think I'd have any interest in. And then, whoops. What do you know? But yeah, that Haikyuu's a good show for that. I feel like the one thing I'll say this about anime is that I appreciate that a lot of creators behind anime seem to be super either obsessed, fixated, or like hyper fanatical about certain things, like specific video games or like sports, and because of that, they create something that's so ingrained in that passion that it kind of bleeds off onto you.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I think I get what you mean.
Because like volleyball with Haikyuu, the guy who wrote it played it in high school, and he's basing it a lot of his own experiences there, but also on like experiences he wishes he had as a high school volleyball player, and also he's a huge fan of like Japanese volleyball and stuff, and world pro volleyball, and he talks about it a lot, and it's like you can tell he knows his shit when he's writing the manga and anime.
Right, and that level of passion kind of can be infectious.
Yeah, totally. Oh, did I connect this properly? I don't think I did. Nope. It's always the thing. I tend to build arms and legs at the same time for kits, even though they make you do it one after the other in Gunpla, but I tend to do it at the same time because it's quicker. It's less monotonous.
I do the same thing with Legos.
Yeah, because like if I'm already building the same thing but mirrored, I might as well just do it now.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's
right, this kit's actually pretty simple, so
just easier.
Yeah, it really is. But the problem is sometimes my brain can't always flip the image around, and so I end up like,
yep.
I'm just like, wait, hold on, how does this work?
Okay, so I've got the hand right, but that thumb is backwards.
Yep.
Whoops.
I actually have to look at my own like hands and feel
yeah,
like, wait.
Yep, I've been there.
It's like, hold on. Okay, I've got my bearings.
How does this work?
I'm not the sort of person who needs to hold out their fingers like this if they know if they're going left or right in like a car. But like,
I don't. 98% of the time, I don't. But there's those times where I'm like, okay, I'll left. Okay, got it.
Yep. So wait, hold on. Okay. Alright, that's one arm almost done. I will also be running a poll after I've finished this kit later on, like on Twitter, about what kits people would like to see me build in the future, because, hey, let's just keep enabling this addiction of mine. Why not?
Yeah, good excuse to buy a new kit. Well, the people want it. Can't let down the fans.
Apparently people want this, and that's really cool. Oh, right. Man, 6 Lexicon in the chat. Yeah, I've heard of Your Lie in April. I need to watch that. I've heard nothing but good stuff about that show, but also that, yeah, it kind of ruins you emotionally. I'm trying to think, what are some other good slice of life shows I like? I really liked My Love Story, also known as Ore Monogatari, because that is a show that completely deconstructs like the over-the-top romance story in anime, or in general, because the joke to that show is that there's no complications. Like, there's no... Anytime there is a problem, they talk it out. And they sort out a misunderstanding.
So it just completely removes the artifice of, like, relationship drama in fiction.
Yeah, and a lot of it is solved by the fact that the two characters who are in love have a mutual best friend who he is the most deadpan guy, and he just says, "How about you just talk to them?" It just solves everything.
So he's everyone who watches those shows.
Pretty much. Like, he's basically an audience surrogate in that way, and it's really great.
Yeah, I can get behind that. That's
honestly a very fun... That's a very fun show, and it's very touching and very sweet. It's also great because the main guy in that is honestly straight up like an ubermensch. He is a, like, 16-year-old who is, like, 7 feet tall and super big, and, like, he survives, like, an inferno in a building and stuff. He survives, like,
boy.
Like, he literally, at one point, jumps down a mountain, and that's kind of the joke as well, is that because he is such a sturdy, brick-brained dummy of a boy, it kind of actually helps him. That show is so silly, and I like it a lot. Trying to think, what other shows have I enjoyed a lot? Weird suggestion that is honestly such an underrated show, is Chihaya Furu, because that is technically a sports show, which is all about a very esoteric card game about poetry in Japan. But the nice thing about that is that in that actual sport, what is it called? It's not Hanafuda. It's something else. I think it's just called, like, 100 Poets in English, is the translation. But the nice thing about that sport is that anyone of any gender, of any race, and of any weight can play that game. Because it's all about...
It's cards, yeah.
Yeah, it's all about just, like, reflex of reaching the cards in time. And it's basically a competitive snap as a card game.
Huh.
It's really interesting. And, like, the things that, like, help you in that game are knowledge of the poems, like, personal, like, importance to you, because there's one character, she's not really fast or anything, but she's good at getting certain cards because she has studied these poems so much, and she loves all of them and their meaning, and she can, the second someone mentions, like, the first syllable of them, she can get the card corresponding to it because she knows exactly what poem they're talking about. And...
Oh, so the trick I played in Quiz Bowl.
Yeah, and...
Eventually you start seeing patterns in some of the questions. It's a risky move, but if you can try and guess what the question is and answer it before they actually ask it.
Yeah, and some players are based purely around, like, straight up, brute force. Like, they will just slam down on cards, even if they don't get them right, just to, like, psychologically get in your head during the game. And, like, the main character, she is very much more based around the fact that she has amazing hearing. That before even the first syllable comes out of the reader's mouth in the game, she'll immediately get the corresponding card. Because she's heard, like, the first sound they have made.
Okay, that's absurd.
It's absurd, but when you actually, like, look up, you actually watch those matches, some people have honed their hearing so much in that game that they're able to do that. The same way you'd see some people go, how could they possibly, like, have the reflexes to hit that ball? And it's like, well, because they've trained themselves so hard in this specific way.
I guess.
Part of it is anime bullshit. Like, part of it is totally anime bullshit.
Right, of course.
I do like that they actually explain the reason why in Haikyuu, the main character, he's like 5'4", but he's a volleyball player. And the reason behind that is because he can jump super high, and he runs really fast, and they're like, how the hell does this shrimp jump so high? And, like, halfway through the first season, the coach asks him, hey, are you able to get training this early? And he goes, yeah, it's fine, I just have to ride my bike. Oh, do you live close by? No, I live on the other side of the mountain. So every morning...
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, every morning, he bikes to school over a mountain. And that's why he's so good at jumping.
Yeah, that's going to be some real strong legs there.
Yeah, especially since he's been doing it since he was, like, 13 or 12. Like, he's just been building that up. Haikyuu also, like, because it's very much a story about skill versus talent. and where the two meet, and can one prevail over another? Because there's one character
that's kind of the big question with like card and like board-based games.
Yeah, and even just in like Haikyuu, it's when you involve a physical sport, there's some people who are just born tall or born strong or have like the ability to put on muscle quickly or lose fat quickly, and in this case, like, how does someone so short play a game all about height? And it's really cool, like, the real-life tactics he employs to actually get over that hump and stuff. And there's one character in that show I love. He's a complete asshole, but you understand why, because his entire deal is that he is trained for volleyball as a teenager all this time, and he's really good at it through sheer skill, through sheer perseverance, and, like, what he has learned. But he still just comes up short to the people who are born good at volleyball.
Yes.
And, like, there's a moment in, like, the final match we see him play, against the main characters, and he makes one of the most impressive plays that only someone with an immense amount of skill could do, and yet he still comes up short against the players who are just innately good at volleyball due to reflexes and height and stamina.
Man, that's kind of the opposite of the way those sorts of stories usually go, because it's usually about, your skills and your, hard work persevering over the naturally gifted.
Well, what it turns out to be is that the naturally gifted, at the start of the show, don't know how to actually wield their weapons, essentially. They just use blunt force, and they don't really understand that, hey, if we actually employ very specific skills, or even change of mindset, because the main character, he's a scrappy kid who wants to be good at volleyball, but he doesn't know the fundamentals. He can just jump really high and hit really hard. But then, the guy who sets up the plays of volleyball on his team is kind of his rival at the same time, because he's immensely good at the fundamentals. He knows every trick in the book to volleyball, and he's incredibly talented, but he also has a huge ego complex, and he needs to get over. Like,
he gets in his own way.
Yeah, like, if he just gets over that, then he becomes immediately a better player. So, yeah, I enjoy Haikyuu for actually just constantly tackling that and investigating, like, what actually makes you good at sport, or just good at the thing you do. I'm trying to think. I've also liked, the big, like, anime darling in the past year was Yuri on Ice, and yes, I'm one of those people who fucking loves Yuri on Ice, because that's a fun show. And hey, we've got arms now. Let's just get the light more on that, so you can see the color.
Arms are good.
Arms are good.
Good to have arms.
Yeah, this is looking like a real robot now. We just need to do the head and the weapons, and we're pretty much done.
That's awfully prescriptive of you. For you to decide what a real robot looks like.
Okay, it looks like a real robot from the Gundam universe. How's that?
It's like a real Gundam, sure.
Well, no, here's the thing. Not, all Gundams...
Sorry, not a gun.
All Gundams are mobile suits, but not all mobile suits are Gundams.
Right, no, I gotcha.
I do like that part of the naming scheme of Gundam comes from the fact that it was supposed to be a weapon so immense and so powerful that it would render any more production of guns useless. Hence, a Gundam. Yeah, there's a lot of messages in Gundam which I appreciate, of like, hey, maybe we should stop war. Like, maybe we shouldn't do this whole thing, and maybe we should sort out a lot of differences through understanding each other and communication. But then you also have to remember that this is a show about selling toy robots a lot of the time.
Right.
And as much as... Yeah, like... It's weird. It's
Can't
weird.
Get those sales, yep.
It's like, hey, maybe we should stop war, and sometimes by the end of, like, the show, they do. And then the next show happens in another universe where there's war, and they have to stop it. So, more reasons to sell different kinds of robots.
Well, that's not an unreasonable, like, narrative thing either, because you can stop war, and, like, that's not going to eliminate war forever, because human nature still exists.
I think in Gundam 00 they actually do eliminate war completely. Like, so part of it is this concept in Gundam of new types. Essentially, what happens to human beings after such a prolonged exposure in space? Due to either environmental changes, like innate psychology, or like just sheer evolution of people, especially now that we've moved into the stars. And new types are basically people who are theorized in Gundam to have the ability of complete understanding, essentially telepathy, and the ability to even project that. And if you are able to understand what people are thinking and saying, you can further understand their actions, and then from that not have any more misunderstanding, which creates conflict.
Right, the point of view gun.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, actually.
Or total perspective vortex.
Yeah.
Kind of works the same way, too.
Pretty much, actually. And yeah, that's always a big thing in Gundam, and one of the shows, Gundam Unicorn, it was turned into a show. It was originally, again, like, feature-length animated series and such, in like a miniseries style. That is actually dealing with the political ramifications of what if there was something that was actually written out of the original, like, space constitution they have that says, hey, if new types happen, we'll give them full rights as, like, citizens? Because part of the issue in Gundam is that people who live in space have less rights than the people who were born on Earth. And
sure.
It's actually an interesting concept, and I enjoyed how ridiculous that show was and how they tackled that question. Because, man, the Gundam in that show just becomes magical at some point. Which kind of works, because it's, it's the Unicorn Gundam.
Right. It's inherently magical.
Oh, I do love, though, that, the villain in that show is literally a clone of Char, and he's leading the New Zeon forces, and his grand, magnificent scheme that he reveals, I'm gonna spoiler it now, so just letting people know, his grand, magnificent scheme is to basically create an economic bloc, and it's the most contrived bullshit that essentially means we're gonna be good at economics and make our own lunch table, so that Earth can't sit at it. And he spends like 5 whole minutes in one episode explaining this. It's so bullshit, and I love it. God, watch Gundam Unicorn. It has good. The thing I like about Gundam, which is a thing that I feel a lot of like grand sci-fi shows, including things like Doctor Who, do well. That I'll always appreciate are small interpersonal scenes.
Yes.
Like, any scene between two characters in a cafe or diner is great to me, because those are the humanizing elements in those big, grandiose, like, operas and dramas.
Exactly, yeah, that's the juxtaposition of, like, just these small, relatable moments among all the bombast.
Yeah, like, one moment I can think from Gundam Unicorn is the Space Zeon princess who, without revealing her identity, is talking to a, like, crotchety old diner owner on Earth, and, like, just them talking about what led to all of this. Like, what led to a horrible, like, calamity that was a year-long war that destroyed, like, parts of the Earth. What happened to, like, the politics that led to people having even less rights than they even had in the first place? And, you know, what happened to the people who were actually behind that wall, like Char and stuff? And, man,
So conversations we'll be having in diners in a few years.
Yeah, pretty much. I think one of my favorite scenes like that in any show is the scene the Seventh Doctor has with that little cafe owner about, like, just choices you make and the ripple effect they have.
Yeah, I know the one.
Just, yeah, talking about, hey, like, imagine, you know, just talking about sugar, and, like, the cafe guy mentions that, yeah, my father was a cane cutter. He goes, the doctor says, yeah, can you imagine if your father wasn't a cane cutter, if, yeah, he wouldn't have been brought here, and you know, you wouldn't have, been born here, and we wouldn't be talking. He brings up, yeah, actually, what if sugar and tea hadn't taken off, I would have been born a free man, because my father wouldn't have been stolen from Calcutta. Like...
Yeah, like, you trace it back far enough.
Yeah, like, a single pebble in a pond doesn't create ripples, it can create waves. And I've always enjoyed both that philosophy, but also, like, just those, I guess, story moments. Just having two characters talk about these things that regular people talk about. Alright, now it's just making the head at the moment, so... The nice thing I like about this kit as well is that this cricket hooligan only comes with two stickers. And they're just for the eyes.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, I always love this. Now, normally I would use tweezers, but I can't find one at the moment, so we're just gonna go with fingernails.
Okay, very important information coming from the chat. That diner owner was also
Jeffrey the Butler from Fresh Prince, yes. Yep, that I remember. When I first saw... Because I saw Fresh Prince before I saw Remembrance of the Daleks, and I was like, wait a second!
I choose to believe that they're literally the same character.
Yeah. God, just imagine Will Smith in a Doctor Who episode.
Yes.
Like, I want 90s Will Smith in a Doctor Who episode.
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah. Fresh Prince era.
Fresh Prince Independence Day era.
Yep.
God. Alright, so we've got this little eye. I'm not sure if this is going to show up as well. But, oop, hold on. If I just... There's a tiny eye that's the camera can't even focus on. Because... Alright, well, let's just plug this into the head. I guess the one thing I wish I could do with this webcam is just have manual focus control.
Yeah, that's usually a software thing.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably fool around with it enough to do that, but also, like this, these are mostly, as much as they're episodes, they're test streams for what I would like to do later, because I like to build bigger kits and stuff, and have people more involved in the process to some degree. Alright. And we've got the head for the most part. I'm also not helping because a lot of my shots are backlit, sadly, due to the nature of my desk and the way it's formatted. I've got the head so far, I just got to put the little visor on him. And then we've only got the weapons left. This is a surprisingly short build. Which is what I kind of wanted, though, because it's a good indication of the current model kits you can buy. They don't take a lot of time. They're not a huge investment that they used to be. They don't require glue. Paint is not, mandatory. So that means you can just build this thing in a couple of hours and it's all snap built together and done.
Right, that I think that makes a big difference because that means a lower barrier of entry.
Mm-hmm. It also means you don't have to wait for things to dry all the time. Alright.
Because, like, I've been in hobby shops and looked at, like, model kits for stuff before, and it's
daunting.
So daunting to think about how much you have to do, not just how much effort you have to put in, but how much precision effort. Like,
yep.
You're kind of diving in the deep end on some fairly complicated stuff.
Like, one nice thing about this hobby is that, hey, aside from, like, the nippers and file, what you buy in the box is all you need.
Right.
That's it. Like, that's all it comes down to. Alright. Got the visor done. How does that slot in?
It's sort of the next, it's sort of like the logical evolution from, like, moving from, like, brick building stuff, so like Legos or Mega Blocks or whatever.
Pretty much. Alright, so... let me just smooth out this part with my file. I always like to make sure the head is always, like, very... like, clean cut as much as possible, because it's the head. It's kind of one of the main things you're going to be looking at a lot of the time with this kit. Or
right,
kit.
You don't want it, scruff. You don't want it scruffy. You make sure it's well shaven and,
exactly.
Short hair.
Alright, so we got the head. Again, I'm trying to find the right light source for this. Maybe bring the camera a bit closer. That might help a bit.
That's the next step, right? Is getting, like, better lighting, like,
yeah, like
some
figuring
lamps
that out
behind you that you can control, and yeah.
Someday. I could even just turn off this lamp actually and see what would happen. 1 second. Also, sorry, Blue Dude, I am not looking at the links in chat, mostly just because it's distracting, and a lot of the time I'm trying to keep as few tabs open as possible. But I definitely will be going back to look later. I think it actually looks better. See the head there, and then we've got the little visor that pops down. Because any good grunt suit in a mobile suit series has to have a mono eye. Also, it's the equivalent for a...
That seems like... Wouldn't you want depth perception in a fighting robot?
No, it's fine. Pfft. What are you, a nerd? You know who...
I mean, yes.
You know who has two eyes? Nerds, because they wear glasses. Alright, so we've got our guy pretty much done.
Okay, he needs a real name. None of this bullshit model name stuff. We need to give him an actual name.
Okay. Well, chat, do you have any suggestions for a name for this cricket boy? I'm trying to think.
What's the official title of it?
Io Shiden Frame. What shall we name you? Well, we can come back to that later, but I'd like to hear any chat suggestions. Jimmy's not bad.
Alright, Master Metroid says Jiminy.
Yeah.
Bernie.
Bernie is alright. Bernie's okay.
Crumpet Master. As much as I like that name, that's kind of circling back to the same problem that we started with. We just need something that'll fit on his "My name is" name tag.
I don't know. I am Crumpet Master.
Okay, only if he has a partner named T-Man.
Let's just angle this a bit lower. There we go.
Crimeboy is solid.
Crimeboy's real good. I am Crimeboy. Ooh. Casey Crimeboy is also pretty good for that alliteration.
Yeah, oh boy.
Casey Crimeboy might be the name.
I'd watch the adventures of Casey Crimeboy.
Man, okay, let's build Casey Crimeboy's backpack then. Which I love in the fiction of Gundam. They just call the back unit the backpack. Because that's what it is.
It's a pack on your back. Yeah, it seems pretty pretty self-explanatory.
But it's like, oh, we're sending you off to Gundam school with your backpack. Have fun, honey.
Also, if you're gonna be doing crimes, you definitely need a backpack.
Oh, you definitely need a backpack for your crime tools. All right, that's snipped off. Casey Crimeboy, man, that's a good name. Good work, team. We did well. We did a good job. I'm also wondering, where did Zack actually disappear off to?
I don't know. He hasn't been around all afternoon.
Well, I can yell at him later. His loss. He wanted to do this. He volunteered.
Too much time building railways last night.
Yeah, we did do that for a bit. Well, you guys did that for a bit. I came in the last second.
Yeah, you're the reason we did it so late.
Well, I'm touched. It was funny, like, I was just desperately trying to get back home as quickly as possible to play Ticket to Ride. I gotta build trains! Oh, man.
God, it's a shame. Like, that game can be played asynchronously. I wonder if there's a phone app. I wonder if you could have played from the bus.
Oh, that would have been good. Also, Victor, yes, please draw Casey Crimeboy, or some Gundam, running late for school with a crumpet in its mouth. I need this. I'll pay you money for this. That is a promise from me to you, right here, right now. You have recording of this.
Man,
I have recording of this.
I thought people stream to make money, not lose money. God, we're doing all this all wrong.
Yeah, this is the worst business plan we have. Like, nothing we do makes sense.
Nothing we do makes money.
I was talking with my boyfriend because he's part of his own group, the Pretzel Boys, and I was talking with Molly about it as well, and I was just asking Molly, who's dumber, us or the Pretzel Boys, because that name inherently, and Molly was immediately like, us, because we spent money on our endeavors.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
We invest time and money into our stupid shenanigans.
A lot of both.
Yeah. God. We'll get there someday. We'll get a TV show on CISO at some point.
Yeah, that's the
dream.
That's the game plan.
Which will be even more hilarious because then Tyler and I won't be able to watch it. And neither will Simon, actually.
Wait, do you think... Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, do you think CISO lets people from outside the US even make stuff for it?
Only one way to find out. Make my TV show, CISO. It's
Good
just
Lord,
this.
what would our TV show even be?
God. It might just be our Slack channel.
I know it's on streaming on the internet, so you wouldn't think there's like a standards and practices that apply, but I still don't think that would be allowed on air.
Yeah. CISO might have to look into an R rating for Matt alone. God, if
it's
we...
still spelled CISO, but with X's instead of S's.
God, in all honesty, if we ever had a TV show, if Audio Entropy ever had a TV show, one of my dreams would be every episode would just focus on us helping, all of us helping one other member get over a certain grudge or fear they have.
Oh boy, yeah, that has some...
We got a lot of them. Like, I want to see us...
basically just recreate the Ranchos episode of Mabim Bam?
Pretty much. It's just like, I want us to make Matt not have a strong opinion on Hearthstone anymore.
He doesn't have to come to like it, he just has to come to tolerate it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. What's a fear you have, Joel? Or what's just like something you unreasonably dislike for whatever reason?
Oh boy.
Like maybe your episode would just be us getting you into an anime.
Yeah, I mean that would actually. Well, I mean we're already going to be doing that.
Pretty much. That's it. That is.
Whenever, if Persona 5 ever comes out, we're already going to be doing that.
God, I can't wait for that. I don't give two shits about Persona. I will watch all of that.
I mean, I don't give two shits about Persona either, which is why we're doing it.
Man, just imagine a 20-minute episode about us trying to get Zach to enjoy water.
Yeah, I think right there, that's the pitch for the show.
Yeah.
Like,
we have someone on our team who doesn't like the taste of water.
Let's
fix
us
that.
Put together an episode where we fix that.
Yeah. I have joked with Molly that I'm dating reverse Zach because A, I'm dating a boy named Zach already who's from the same place that we all met up, and yet his drink of choice is just tap water.
God, see, I get wanting to drink water, but tap water is disgusting.
It depends on the place you live in.
I mean, for me, it doesn't. I grew up with an RO, so
I have no idea what that means.
It's reverse osmosis. It's a filtration process.
Okay.
So like, I've always drank filtered water, and like, if water has like a natural flavor to it, I can't do it.
I guess so. I mean, I'm with him for the most part because I mostly drink water. But you know, I'm just gonna bully my boyfriend right here, right now, I guess. Have you seen the My Brother and Me? Like, have you seen all of the episodes so far?
Yes. Yeah.
I did see the part of like what's your team name, and it's least favorite soda and most favorite soda.
Yes.
And I love that, but also my boyfriend wouldn't be able to do that because he doesn't like carbonated drinks.
So least favorite soda would be all of them, and most favorite would just be blank.
Yes. So his team name would just be Soda. Sup, teens? I'm Soda.
Actually, that almost works.
That actually works. Actually, no, it has to be. I'm Soda blank.
No, that's somebody else.
Oh, actually, shit. Who's also named Zach? We have too many Zachs.
Too many Zachs.
God damn it. I was waiting
Too
for
many Zachs.
I don't
Blue Dude notes that your Zach, aka Nega Zach, also hates Power Rangers, which is a strong point in your theory right there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't even think he has that strong of an opinion on Power Rangers, to be honest, talking with him.
I mean, just not caring about them is enough.
Yeah, like, he just doesn't give a shit, and that's okay.
Zach cares so much about Power Rangers.
I mean, because here's the thing, I care a lot about Toku. I think Zach cares more about Power Rangers. He cares about Power Rangers as much as I care about Toku. It's a subtle difference, but that's it's fair. There. Alright, now we've got Casey Crimeboy has a gun, which is needed for criming.
I mean, yeah, that's your prime crime tool right there.
Yeah. Oh right, actually, yeah. My Zach loves using a trap inch for his avatar, and our Zach likes using a whatever the chinchilla Pokemon is.
Cinchino.
Yeah.
Or Minchino. I forget which is which.
Yeah. But man, there's a lot of this is adding up.
So which one is the dominant? Which one's the recessive? Solid Zach and Liquid Zach.
Oh god. Well, that's a toughie. I want to say my one is Liquid just because he actually drinks water. He's got that going for him. Now I'm curious because Casey Crimeboy's gun is supposed to connect into his back skirt. And it's not doing so. I might have to just fiddle that later. But oh, actually, there we go. Hey, he's on his way to school for criming with his backpack and gun.
So he's American.
I guess. It was kind of fucked up when I went there and I saw that you guys just have like sporting goods stores with guns in them.
Oh yeah, no, you walk past all the guns and ammo to buy a new pair of gloves or whatever.
That's so fucking weird. Alright, now we're just gonna build, I think the shield is next. Well, I mean, he's got either the tiny shield, which is mostly for the forearm, which I can just plug into here.
So, more of a bracer.
Yeah, more of a bracer, honestly. There we go. Or he's got the big shield, which I like because it's got a mail slot, which I always like in shields. And how does that one work? Okay, so basically we take off this. We pop off his hand, open it up. And there we go. Pop in this handle. This is a slightly unwieldy shield to put in.
Unshieldly.
Unshieldly, damn it.
I'm in your head.
No, we're just the same person when it comes to puns, that's the thing, and people hate it in the Slack channel.
It's true.
It's great.
It is true.
Alright, and then we pop this shield into the handle here, like so. It's a little floppy, so then we connect it into the arm. Alright, Casey Crimeboy's got a shield to protect himself from the police. So I'm just gonna put the gun in his hand.
Important whether or not you're planning on committing crimes.
Exactly, yeah. Casey Crimeboy is the secret fifth member of a Payday crew. Always covering your back. Whoop. Hold on. Don't fall over. You gotta stand up to commit crimes, unless they're lying down crimes, or sleeping crimes.
Yeah, I mean, loitering is a crime, and you can do that in any position.
You sound like you're talking from experience, Joel.
I mean, I'm no stranger to loitering.
Right.
I'm no stranger to not moving for long periods of time.
I mean, same. Alright, so we've got that, and then finally, let's build the cricket bat. Let's finally get to this, people.
Really the most important part of this build.
Yeah, exactly. Alright. Let's see, where do I start? Okay. I do like this is even an extendo cricket bat, because it does, like, fold out, kind of. It's kind of like it's a collapsible cricket bat, like a baton.
Also useful for crimes because you can quickly like put it away when the cops show up and pretend like you haven't done anything.
I don't know if it collapses that much. You still have to hide a cricket bat.
It's just gotta be enough to fit in your backpack.
I think it starts off a cricket bat and they can extend it to a cricket bat spear.
Oh.
That's kind of the thing they're going for with this.
So cricket bat is the starting point, and it gets crazier from there.
Yeah. I can even imagine this being just like a rowing oar from a fucking private school like the one I went to. God, the fact that my private school had rowing and rifle shooting as sports you could do.
Okay, so what you do is you mod the cricket bat so it looks like an oar. You mod the shield so it looks like the bottom of a rowboat.
Yeah, that works.
And he is, instead of a cricket hooligan, he is a cast off from a mutiny on a ship.
What? He's a hooligan on the Missouri? Like, just fucking Huck Finn hooligan?
I was thinking Sam Arrow.
Oh yeah, I can see that. And man, I'm excited. This is the first build, successful build, I should say, of Julie Makes the Grade. A momentous occasion.
Yeah, it's only took 2 episodes. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I imagined it would only take a couple episodes. I wasn't gonna make this go.
Only took 2 episodes and 2 co-hosts.
Yep. That's how good this is, people.
We are a very professional organization.
Uh-huh. Very, very, very professional. Oop, hold on. That cricket bat does not... Hold on. I am confused by the design of the cricket bat spear.
Huh. I don't know what could possibly be throwing you.
Yeah, it's weird, huh?
Cricket bat spear sounds like the most straightforward thing, right?
Right? Yeah, completely. Oh, I see. Hold on. Is that the way it goes? Oh, this basically works on a rail system. That's how it extends and such. So I've got
Alright, makes sense. So the spear part slides in and out.
Pretty much from the looks
rail.
of it.
And I'm glad I'm not on camera because the motions I just did to compliment what I just said would not have
Describe
been
it to the
flattering.
class?
Nope, not happening.
Alright, there we go.
It'd be one of them what you call gifable moments.
Alright, here we go. We got a cricket bat. Got a cricket bat spear now.
Cricket bot.
This is very lewd. I'm sorry, this is now 18 plus stream.
Oh, I'm gonna have to update our. Well, I really should have done this anyways, but I should set our stream
Too explicit?
to adults only.
Yeah, we don't want children in here, seriously.
Well, I mean, frankly, based on all 3 Jackbox streams we've done.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Alright. Hold on, let me just pop his hand out, because he's got a... Man, this is the one thing I don't like about Gunpla kits, for most of them, is that to put the weapon in, you've got to take apart the hand, essentially.
Yeah, that's less than ideal.
But the alternative is having kits with, like, movable fingers, and that gets way too fiddly, and they're never strong enough to hold the weapon.
Building that would be complicated, and the fact that you have to assemble it means it's weaker.
Yep.
So really, they just need to make them bigger, because that eliminates most of those
No,
issues.
because I've built the bigger perfect grade and like master grade size with the movable fingers, and they still suck. They just haven't gotten it right. And hey, we've got our cricket boy. Welcome. Welcome to the world, Casey Crimeboy. Nearly forgot your name for a second. I need to get one of those stands that rotates. Actually, I've got an idea.
Yeah, put some backlighting in there so he's constantly illuminated.
Yeah. Hold on. I do have a stand here that I can use impromptu. Look at this boy. Look at this cool-ass boy.
It's a good boy.
Oh, I'm real happy. This is a cool kid.
Yeah, you picked a really good one to start with.
I mean, yeah, I put it up to a vote because I knew this one was one people were really into in the Gunpla community.
It's a giant amiibo.
Oh God. Well, now he has to go in the trash. I hope you're happy, Joel. God. This is ruined.
You got a nice 20 seconds of pride out of it.
This is ruined. We couldn't have a full minute.
What if you connect that to a Switch and Link gets a giant robot?
That'd be... Just put on the power pad. I do like the idea Giant Bomb once had of just putting one of those, taking out an amiibo chip and just putting it into, like, I don't know, a vibrator or dildo. Just slam it on the base. Trigger happy. Alright, let's get him off this thing, because I don't want no Gundam amiibo. I only own... I think... What amiibos do I own? I own my Shovel Knight one, and I bought my mom a Yan Yoshi amiibo.
Oh, those are great. I've got like a whole family of them. Two of the little ones, the blue and the pink one, and then the big one.
Yeah.
That's like $30.
I thought about buying the big one.
I just picked up the Poochie that they just released too. So
I've been thinking about getting that game just for Poochie.
You can buy the Poochie amiibo separate. But
I know.
The game is really good. Like
shit.
That's a good game.
Cause I like Yoshi and I like Yan Yoshi a lot. Focus, damn you. Focus on the star of the show, camera. I'm gonna have to look into if there's software.
Wait, if he has the ability to prevent cameras from focusing on him, that will really improve his crime
Actually,
powers.
yeah, he's the perfect crime boy. And then also, just watcha! I got a fucking cricket bat spear now. What are you gonna do, cops? Come at me. There we go.
See, it's crime boys like this why we have all this escalation in law enforcement. They get cricket bat spears. The cops get riot gear.
I mean, he's got a riot shield already.
Yeah, but that's because cops already get guns.
True. I do also like that if I don't want to have the cricket bat, which is going to be, not often because it's a freaking cricket bat, I can just pop it into his backpack.
See? Perfect.
I like kits that let you just store everything on them.
Yeah, that's my biggest complaint with all the Megazords post the original one is that they have so many extra pieces that you only use in certain like modes.
Yeah.
So you have to just store all this stuff somewhere.
Because now he can even just have his bracer on his freaking other arm that's not using the big riot shield.
Right, so as long as people don't shoot him from directly head on, he's perfectly invulnerable.
Yeah, precisely. Hold on, let me just get him some cool posing now, because that's what you do with your Gunpla models. You gotta pose them. Go, shooting from behind the shield. Good crime boy. Man, this is... I'm real happy. I'm real happy, Joel. This is a good kid.
Yeah, no, it came together nicely. He looks awesome. He's got a great name.
Casey Crimeboy. Now I'm actually looking forward to every other kit that's named on this show.
Okay, so you need to get some markers and like come up with a good like symbol and like tag his shield so he's got his name on it. And, like, so he's repping his brand.
Casey. Also, I do like that the visor just kind of adds kind of a douchey quality to him because his name is Casey. Like,
yeah, it really does come together.
Just flipping his eyes, like, "What's up, dude?" Hold on, I'm gonna get him down to. I'm gonna bring this camera down to a lower level so we can get a better look at him.
So do you think his emblem is just a cricket bat?
Ooh, that'd be good. I want to imagine him telling everyone he's robbing that they're in a real sticky wicket. And he just pulls out the bat. Oh, I like this douchey, shitty, faux British crime boy we have created.
Oh yeah, no, he's absolutely not British at all, but he tries to act like he is.
Yeah, he's...
That's 100% canon.
He's got my accent, where he's not actually British, he just sounds British. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, people, I am so happy we did this, and I think that's a good time for us to end the stream. So, yeah.
So what are you gonna do for polling for the next one?
So, you can find me on Twitter at GatsbyLow. That's where I'm going to put the next poll. I'll probably put that as my pin post, so that way it will just be there all the time on my profile, so you don't have to try and find it. What else? I'm thinking I'm either going to do a real grade kit or a master grade kit. Now, the real grade is this same size, but way more complex. The master grades, as you've seen, are bigger, like they will, about, say, this much taller a lot of the time, nearly double the size, and also just as complex as real grades and everything. So yeah, once we decide on real grade or master grade, or even I might do another high grade, because these are fun little builds, honestly. From there on, I'll probably just post like another poll, like, hey, which ones do you want? Like, out of these 4, you decide. Blue Dude, I know you want us to do the grades build-off. I'll consider that, but that's not going to be part of Julie Makes the Grade. Actually, Julie Makes the Grades is another good spin-off idea. Huh.
Ooh. We're getting into cross-branding now.
Shit.
Franchising.
Because Blue Dude has a good idea of doing a build-off, essentially, where we all buy the same basic kit. That's quite customizable, because the Grays is a very well-designed Mook suit. And from there on, we actually, like, painted different colors and given different weapon attachments, and we, I guess, judge, or, like, marvel at what we've all done by the end of it. So, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Don't feel like we need to plug ourselves, because most of the people here already know where they can find us.
Also, as mentioned before, this isn't labeled as an adult stream, so that would be, like... I think that would violate Twitch's terms of service.
Yeah, exactly. So, essentially, yeah. But I probably won't do another stream like this for, say, a month or so, because I've got school and everything coming up. But
yeah, you're gonna be busy.
I'm going to be very busy. I've got podcasts and a long-distance relationship and school and work all to juggle, along with this hobby. So, we'll see how we go. But yeah, I'm really glad I did this. This is real cool, and I'm real happy people have enjoyed this.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing it.
Yeah. Alright, well, have a good night, everyone. Talk to you later, Joel. Thanks for coming along.
Yep. Yeah, and thanks for joining us, everyone.
Alright, see you later, everyone. Keep building. Casey demands it. You don't want to mess with the crime boy. Hold on. I now have to just do this. Or, what's up, governor?
That was a nice professional sounding outro we had, and
I now ruined it as the Audio Entropy way, because now I'm just gonna, like, pull a terrible Chav accent, like, or, what's up? Alright, see you later, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye.